That's right, guys. The sound of those applause mean you're back on the Mozu Report. Hey, it's been a long and windy road. It's been about a month since we've been on, but that's okay because you're here, I'm here, and we got folks to talk to. I got a guy on the line here today that I have known for way longer than that poor guy even wants to think about. A guy named Chester Hendrix, doing some great stuff out there. He's got a company, Terran Games, and he just happens to be the original supplier and only supplier for those really cool, I call my life counters, he calls them life spinners, that you guys as an audience have purchased over the years and done great stuff with. As a matter of fact, we got some more of these bad boys going off to an anime con in Idaho really soon. But that's another story. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in Chester. Chester, how are you, sir?
Dude, thank you for the applause. I am ready to rock. Let's get this show rolling.
All right, all right. Well, on that note, Chester, I did mention I've known you for a while, but the audience, they don't know you. So go ahead, give me the nickel tour real quick of who you are in the gaming world, and then we'll go from there.
If you want to know who I am in the gaming world, go to Board Game Geek, look up Your Buddy Chester. I have a list there of my history in the gaming world. I've been doing gaming design since I was 14 years old. In fact, the very first game that I did when I was 14, I now am able to produce and sell on my own. But for this specific, what we're talking about here is I'm working on a life spinner, which I produced starting back in 2005. There's a little story behind that, but let's go on with the rest of the interview.
All right, that's fine, sir. Well, and that's actually the next thing I want to talk about, Chester. How and when did you get started with the life spinners? And before you answer that, though, I'm going to put up 2 or 3 pictures real quick here of how cool they are. Absolutely. Okay, so now that the cool product shot is out of the way, Chester, give us some background on these bad boys.
I want you all to think back, way back, okay? In the days when a little company called Reaper started putting out little spinners, okay? Hope you can see that really well. This was the original pewter life spinner. They had about 4 different types that they did. There was a little hand, there was a little wizard, there was a couple other things. One year, for some reason, they put it out where there was no figure on top of the spinner part. It was just flat. And I thought to myself, now that's the coolest idea ever, because back in the heyday when everybody was making awesome miniatures, this was perfect. So we bought a couple of them. Dots right there, that matched up with the little pin right there. The problem with this thing is after you used it enough, the little pin started working its way off. And if you bumped the table, it would drop, or it would spin, it would change its position. So even while this was the coolest thing available, over the years I thought to myself, once they stopped making it, because they didn't make it for very long, I thought, wow, that's really sad, because I really enjoyed using this thing. I've been playing Magic since Antiquities came out, okay, and this is what I've been using for all these years. So around 2004, idea came to my mind, and I said, whoa, I could do this myself differently.
All right, Chester. Well, that's really cool, and of course we've got lots of history with the spinners here at Mozu Productions. Actually, I was selling your spinners before I even had Mozu Productions, so that is awesome. What are your future plans for Terran Games? Oh, well, I appreciate that. So, but what are your future plans?
Future plans are I'm gonna move forward with game designs and whatnot, but for the life spinner specifically, we're going to do the Kickstarter campaign. We're going to raise enough money to get all of the expensive blanks made so we can get the cool molds made, so that we'll then be in production with the sweet new both sizes with the sharpest resolution possible. It'll be easy to paint. It'll be great, and there will be an added bonus type thing in that I will be offering for anybody that wants one. I'll allow you to buy a bronze one. Okay, this will never happen again. This is going to be the Kickstarter exclusive if you want. I don't expect to sell a whole lot of them, but I know there's always some folks out there that just have to pimp out, you know, to the max. You want maximum pimp, you can get you a bronze live spinner. That's as pimped out as it's going to get.
Nice, nice. Okay, now you mentioned two sizes. Can you show us the two? I know you've got some blanks there in hand. We were watching those before, looking at those before we started recording. Can you show the audience the two different sizes of what you're trying to make for the Kickstarter?
This is the standard size. All right. I'm going to start calling this the elemental size. You get to see both sides. It runs from 1 to 30 on side 1, from 31 to 60 on the other side. It doesn't just work for Magic, it also works for a few other games like Versus. There's still a few being played. And then this is going to be the new bad boy. This is going to be called the Titan. This is literally double the thickness of the other, and it weighs and it feels just like it weighs a ton, which is nice because this has been the whole point of enjoying these things, is that when you pick it up, you feel the weight and you feel the heft of it, and it's just nice. And I get compliments on it every time I play. Whenever I go to a tournament, everybody's always asking, "Where did you get that?" And it's really nice to be able to say, "I make them." After the Kickstarter project, after we're able to send off the bronze blanks off to my pewter guy, I'm going to be going just back into production mode, except now you'll have the sweetest live spinner ever.
Awesome. That is good to hear because, like I said, I've used them for years, love them, sold them here for, bought them from you, put minis on them, sold them, people love them, used them as prizes in the past. They are great. And while the quality has always been high, I'm glad that you're not stopping. You're reaching higher, trying to get it the best product possible out there. Because a lot of folks sometimes sit, but no, you're not doing that.
No. This has always been a dream of mine to take it up to the next level just one more time. And talk about how long these things have been out. I've been doing these since 2005. I have literally sold more live spinners than all of my other game products put together over the last 8 years now. I've had them sent off to Ireland. I've had them sent off to France. I've had them sent off to Italy, down in Indonesia, Australia. I've had a couple sent off to Czechoslovakia. It's amazing watching my website, where people come to look at these things from literally, I had a few sent off to Russia. They're, here and there, they're all over everywhere. I've even sent a couple of, gratis ones off to a couple of friends of mine, up at the Wizards of the Coast. Mark Rosewater's got one in his office. I don't know what he ever did with it, but he's got one.
Very cool, very cool. Nice to know that the boys upstairs there at WotC know what you're doing down here too, because it's obviously really cool. And all right, so there's that. So when should the Kickstarter kick off, do you think, Chester? What kind of time frame are we looking for?
Realistically, I'm looking at getting this thing going sometime in November or December. It's going to take a little while to get all of the ducks in a row. Then, like I said, we're looking at around November to December. And then after that, then we're going to get one sent off to everybody that orders one. And then after that, you'll be able to just plain buy them on the website with the brand new stuff.
So we're looking for November, December. That's very cool. What kind of goal are you searching for in this Kickstarter?
I haven't put a number on it yet, but I'm looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of around, say, I'm figuring on somewhere between 200 and 300 backers on that. I do my best because here's the deal. Like I said, I've been doing these for 8 years now. I have an opportunity now, again. Okay, how cool is that? Okay, I mean they've even redone my logo, recess and whatnot. It's just this is the sweetest spinner ever, and I just want this to be the absolute best product on the market out there. My competition is pretty much nil right now. If you're looking for a pewter live spinner to use with your Magic stuff or any other game, you're looking at buying old stuff that's been out of print for a long time. Nobody out there is really making something, and the reason mine are so unique is because you choose the figure to put on top of it. It makes it yours. I've seen everything put on these things, and didn't you have a little story about that, what some people were putting on top?
Absolutely. In the last few months, the biggest seller for me when I get my life counters from you has actually been My Little Pony figurines. The bronies out there and some of the young ladies that are into My Little Pony have decided, you know what, they're gamers, they're proud, they love their ponies, and whether it be the unpainted bases or the last style painted with the bases, they love their ponies on those things, and they have sold very well.
You know what? Hey, more power to you.
Well, Chester, we're going to take a quick pause, and I'm going to throw up a few more pictures of some other really cool counters that that I've personally made and sold, and from your site. So we'll go to those. And there you go, folks. There's some really cool pictures in there. Chester, is there any is there any way that the audience can help you spread the word? How does the audience help you get the word out there about your spinners?
That's very easy. Go on to any Magic website where they have forums where they talk about new products or anything like that, and go on and start a thread and say, hey, have you seen this? Drop a link to my website. Drop a link to Mozu website. You know, and just say, hey, check these out. Send me then an email, and I will personally drop over there, and I will be happy to talk about it all day long. I don't have any problem answering questions. I don't have any problem making comments and stuff. And if there are any websites out there that would like an exclusive picture, okay, of the blank solid brass pieces that are going to be used and that are going to be offered during the actual Kickstarter campaign, I'll be more than happy to give them one. Think of it as, you know, like a spoiler type picture and whatnot. Be more than happy to do that.
Awesome. Sounds good. You heard it. You heard it, guys. Go ahead. If you've seen the product, if you bought them from me, if you bought them for Chester live at his site, not in just Magic sites though. You got any card game that you can use this, whether you're counting life totals or treasure points or anything. You board gamers, I've got board games I know that track stuff too. Talk about this
I've had a number of folks that they pick this up to use for their Dungeons and Dragons and other stuff like that for life points, you know, for their certain of their characters, and then they go and they purchase a little miniature that looks just like their character, and so, you know, it becomes a special thing to them. I've gone to a number of conventions where I've you know, run into a couple people who have done that, and you know, it's a personalized touch that you can't get anywhere else. You see people using the little numbers on their phones. They have that little app to keep track of your life total. You know what? Everybody's got one of those. You got one with a little figure on there that looks like you or that says something that you want to say, ain't going to happen. You got to come here. But, you know, spread the word. Send me a link. Let me know. I will be there to back you up and help you talk about it anytime, anyplace.
Awesome. And right as the show notes close, folks, we're going to have contact info for Chester, his website, and everything else. You'll be able to get a hold of him, no problem. And, of course, anything you forward to us here at Mozu Pro, we'll be more than happy to send to Chester. You always help old friends. That's what this is all about. Chester, it's been amazing to talk to you tonight, sir. I definitely appreciate you coming on, and I'm very excited for this Kickstarter and, of course, just the continuation of Terran Games and everything you're doing. I definitely appreciate you being out there.
No, I appreciate you. And that's the whole point of the Life Spinner, is so that you can personalize it for yourself and just be awesome.
Absolutely. All right, guys, on that note, we're going to say goodbye to Chester. Definitely appreciate. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely appreciate you being on, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end this week's Mozu Report. Be on the lookout. More news about Terran Games and his Life Spinners coming up. We'll mention on the website when the Kickstarter goes live. In the meantime, talk this up. Guys, we'll be back. You know it. You love it. Or at least I hope you do. Until then, I'm out.